computer. Alrighty, guys. Purpose Project. It's the seventh video here with a good friend, actually a cousin of mine, Ben. So yeah, I guess typically what we've done is I've allowed, the interviewee to basically introduce himself. So Ben, yeah, floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm Ben Diffely, as Will mentioned, his cousin, um, on my mom's side. So, yeah, I am a student athlete currently at Williams College in Massachusetts, and I'm actually currently abroad in Barcelona, Spain. So studying for the semester.
Yeah,
So
so it's
yeah,
kind of
and I was gonna say yeah, I'm a NVI and sociology major. So
yeah.
the basics.
Yeah. I mean, Ben and I mean, basically, it's kind of like, I'm very appreciative of anyone who gets on this podcast, especially Ben. Ben is, abroad and he is, taking classes and he's, doing a bunch of other stuff and still he makes time. He basically, we did this like yesterday. Like, we were like, all right, let's jump on tomorrow and we got it done. So I know the video, I'm not sure how it's going to record, but, there's something going on with the video is not traditional. It's how I've done
Yeah.
it in the past. But yeah, I mean Ben, I knew Ben, since I was young. Like I learned how to ride a bike, back in the day with Ben's dad and Ben, and we, used to jump on the trampoline and we used to play baseball in the yard and just do all this stuff growing up. Like me and him, uh, big sports guys, big sports guys. So yeah, I guess that's I wrote down some questions, and one of my questions was, sports has been a central point of your life thus far. Moving out of college soon, are there ways you think you can maintain that competitive edge sports provides? And what can you say about teamwork? Did you get that?
Yeah, I got most of it. I think yeah, I have part of it. So I can kind of I can explain that you can butt
Yeah.
in if you have any further things. Yeah, I mean, like you said, we've us too, but sort of more generally have been competing for basically as long as we can remember. And I think especially through COVID when all of that stopped, or most of it anyways, that was sort of one of those things where you don't really realize kind of how much you miss it until it's gone, or don't
Mhm.
miss it. And I guess you find out a lot about yourself um, in those moments. But I think sort of looking to the future, after college, I really want to play as much as I can after college. So looking not sort of fast tracking myself into the business world and sort of
Mhm.
trying to get my into my career per se right away. I would love to sort of explore the options that I might have to play after college, which I'm excited about. And that was sort of a recent decision that I made this past winter, actually, when I just realized that it's something that I love, and that it's been sort of a passion of mine. It's what I feel. I don't know. The only way I can sort of describe it is just you feel alive, like you feel like you have real sort of. And it's going to sound a little pun here. It's real purpose when I'm
Yeah.
sort of playing. It's such a purpose driven environment. You have such clear goals, such everything's lined out for you in competition. So I think that's something that I look to do for a long time. Um, and maybe competitively at the professional level, but also just um, in different amateur leagues and stuff like that.
Yeah, what I'll say about that, I mean, it's 100%, dude. I mean, Ben, let's keep in mind, you guys do, like, anyone out there listening to this, if you don't know of Williams College, it's not just a good school. It is the number one ranked liberal arts school in the country. It was ranked the number one school of anywhere in the US about probably like 5 years ago. I went to a school in the same division, but Williams is a step up. It's a leg up. And Ben's, the starting goalkeeper at Williams. And Ben came from South Carolina. Ben came from, a very small school in South Carolina. And then he went to Deerfield and then he went to Williams. So it's like he went untraditional path already. And it's like my thing with, your aspirations of, going further with sports in terms of soccer, I'm assuming, is yeah, I mean, if you
Yeah,
just keep plugging along, keep playing, doing whatever you think could give you a better chance to, make it in a league, there will be people that drop out. And if you just keep plugging along, it's like you're gonna get better, and also there are gonna be people dropping out. So it's like it's my thing, dude. I mean, I'll tell you, and I'll tell anybody. I mean, go after your dreams. What's the worst that could happen? You fail, and then you figure something else out. And it's like graduating from Williams, it's like you already have like you go for soccer, and then there are going to be plenty with the networking at Williams, uh, with other connections, whatever. You're going to easily be able to get a job, even if the soccer doesn't work out. Um,
yeah,
but then it's like
yeah. I think
something for
yeah,
me.
that was.
Yeah, basically, I was going to say
Go
something for
ahead.
me.
Sorry.
Like what I've realized, even just working in like a restaurant, is like it's not a knock against anyone that doesn't play sports, but you can almost tell like who grew up playing sports and who didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like teamwork is just essential to life. Teamwork and just being able to work with people is essential. And if you didn't play sports, you can learn that with working in restaurant, working in other businesses. But I just think like, maybe that's why your dad and my dad or my mom, whoever got me into sports at a young age and whoever got you into sports at a young age, maybe they saw that. Because it's just you got a leg up, dude. Like it's like you're able to work with people, you're able to deal with some people that might not 100% be on board with what you're on board with. uh you know it's just you're able to, it's just a great thing,
Right.
and you
Yeah.
can't take that
Well,
out of
there's so many. There's so many. I mean, people kind of talk about it all the time, sort of sometimes ad nauseum, but the parallels between sports and life, there's a lot. I'm taking a sports and society class right now. It's sort of focused on Spain, but there's a lot of things that you can extrapolate to all parts of the world. I think it's just, yeah, like you said, team building, um, sort of working in groups, but also just like facing adversity, all these different sort of character traits that you can build up, um, sort of through sports, and they help you more than you think. You think it's kind of like innocent activity, that you're doing purely for fun, but there is a lot of real world applications, um, to playing sports. And like you said, it's not the end all be all. Certainly, there's many other ways
oh
to
yeah,
acquire skills and stuff like that. But it is definitely like I find it beneficial, and I think a lot of people do. So it has certainly been an enjoyable and valuable experience, especially the more you grow older, the more you can sort of tell, um, or the more value you put on those types of skills, being able to sort of talk to new teammates. Even here, we've been playing some pickup soccer just randomly. We'll go and you have to sort of just mesh with a team in 2 seconds. You don't have, I mean, it's not like real teamwork, but you have to be able to communicate, meet new people, so all that kind of stuff. So that all, definitely
that's what I think.
translates.
Like I have a couple points. I mean, one is like one is I don't know how many goalkeepers, especially at the college level, I'll be interviewing on this purpose project, and maybe some in the future, who knows. But basically it's like facing adversity on a soccer team, the spotlight is on the goalkeeper. If a goal is scored on you, it's like a lot of people will just be like, Ben, dude, you should have saved that. You should have blocked that. You know what I'm saying? It's like there obviously will be people on your team that got your back no
Yeah,
matter what, even if you do make a blip. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But it's like there also will be people on your team that, likely will say, Ben, what the frick? Like, why'd you do that?
yeah,
Even in the
yeah,
stands, you know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah,
you can also be like, like I know you were a NESCAC player of the week a couple times or something. You can also be like, the standout, the person that saves the game. It's just, being a goalkeeper is, kind of
right,
like a lot of people might see it as, a stress point. Like being a goalkeeper is like, a stressful
yeah,
because you're basic, it's soccer is a game of scoring goals. And yes, there's defense, but ultimately, the big thing in the net is you. That's what's preventing anyone
yeah,
from, obviously, defense can stop balls, and even offense or midfielders going back can impact the game. But it's like if a goal is scored, a lot of the
yeah,
spotlight's on the goalkeeper. So, I mean, I guess I have a question: is how do you
yeah.
manage like if you do mess up, like how do you like or how do you like yeah, I mean how do you handle yourself whenever you make an amazing save and then also like do maybe you should have saved something that went in the net. Like do you try to keep yourself like neutral or do you like try to
Yeah.
how do you handle yourself?
Yeah. I think I'll just repeat the question, just make sure I got it because it was kind of unstable there for a second. But you're saying just like what happened, like how do I react when I make a mistake or just something bad in general
Well, yeah.
happens?
No, I'm saying like if you like basically I'm asking like if you make an amazing save,
Hmm.
like how do you react? And if you like let it if a goal goes in that you maybe should have stopped, how do you react? Is it similar? Do you try to stay like neutral, I'm trying to say, or do you like get
Uh,
like you get emotional?
yeah, I kind of this has been a big point, especially for my coach, but even for me growing up. Something that sort of my dad had sort of just instilled in me. I didn't really sort of think about it as much, but I never really get too high or too low. Sometimes it's hard not to get low at some points for me more than it is sort of to get pumped up. Um, After a save, I'm more of the like I'm more just relieved almost. It's funny because when I was a kid, I tried to start playing goalie when I was probably 10 or 11, and I couldn't do it because I would get such bad stomach aches because I'd be so nervous about getting scored on. But I think now it's more of you just have to have like a mentality where it's not like I don't fear failure. You know what I mean? So I don't there's no there's no fear if I mess up because I know that like first of all I just have confidence in my abilities to perform. So I never think that I'm going to fail. That thought never crosses my mind until it actually happens. And then if it does happen, it's one of those things where you deal with it. You know what I mean? It's just, okay, that happened. And it sounds corny, but it's like, what can you do next? And you just have to sort of process that. And I'm not going to pretend that you just wipe it clean slate because I think that's almost impossible. People just say, oh, next play, next play. But and to a large degree that's true, but you sort of have to work through it, I think, as the rest of the game goes on and be able to move past it because it is true. There's nothing you can do about it now. And the only thing that does matter is the next play and the next plays and your reaction. And that's something that sort of my coach has been good about, but also my dad and my parents, both my mom, they've been always good about there's no there's no there's no point. I think Nadal was talked about it a lot. There's no point in a negative sort of reaction because it doesn't how does that help you? You know what I mean? That's just and if you have to get energy out, I think of it I used to play tennis more. Will knows that. We used to play tennis all the time together. And that's sort of more of I would say definitely more of an emotional outpouring sport, like sort of you play golf. It's like those individual sports are much more mentally tiring. So I think that actually prepared me pretty well for playing goalie because it can feel individualistic at times. You're the only one with that job. And so if it's the same in tennis, if you mess up or in golf, if you mess up, there's nobody else to put it on but you, and you have to be able to deal with that.
Yeah.
So I think sort of playing other sports and sort of having that mentality of it is a big deal, but it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? You're going to be okay. You're a good player, and you'll make the next play. Sort of that kind of mentality for the bad things, and then the good things you just ride them. There was a lot of fun moments this year. Um, we made it to the national championship in the NCAA tournament as sort of a non ranked seed. So that was like super exciting. So many fun moments. And you just ride those. You ride those highs and you take it because it won't last forever. So I think you definitely enjoy those, and that's something that I've tried to do more of recently because they don't happen all the time, and it will eventually end. So enjoying those moments when you're in them, and using it to your advantage, um, competitively also is definitely really important.
Yeah, dude, I think I forgot to mention that. I forgot, yeah, Ben not only is going to the best, liberal arts college in the country, is also a starter on the soccer team, but their team made it to the national finals, not the national semifinals, the national finals. I watched that game against the University of Chicago who was like ridiculous. Like they were like 35 and like some ridiculous record. Like they barely lost a game.
Yeah.
Um, and they put up a fight. Like they did a good job.
22. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, your point
Yeah.
about kind of like, like I played golf, I played tennis. So yeah, like you're saying, those are individual sports. It's like, um, the only person really, I mean, besides like maybe a coach that could pick you up is yourself. So it's like that's something I learned. That's something that you realize. It's like in life, it's like yes, we're all part of team humanity, but it's like at the end of the day, a lot of times the only person that can pick you up is yourself, no matter you know what you're going through, where you are, how much money you have, like what you're doing, like
Right.
you got like everybody. It's kind of cruel, I guess, but it's like everyone has the toolkit to do that. It's just a matter
Yeah.
of realizing it. And like last night, I've just been getting into like religion and praying more, and I basically pray like all those individuals out there that are stranded or lost, like just helping them gain the confidence in themselves to realize this wisdom that like me and you are talking about, and that I post on the Daily Mail wisdom, like all these things. You can also have wisdom and do nothing with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's just a ton of things to consider. But I mean, clearly, it's um, to anyone out there, like Ben is a great role model for life. Like seriously, Ben is an amazing, amazing role model.
Appreciate that.
And that's one of the, I want to get people on the podcast that, are. So it's like you guys can reach out. You guys can ask Ben a question. You guys can comment on this, and I can ask, Ben what he thinks, and we'll get back to you. So uh yeah, I mean, I guess like yeah, so you mentioned family. So how much like what do you think about your family? How much does your family mean to you?
Yeah. So I think that is the main reason why I've gotten to where I've gotten to. And it's because of like my family and the way that I was brought up and the people that I was surrounded with, you included, um, and your family. I think it's one of those things where it's not a defining feature for everybody, certainly, but for me, it definitely has been in terms of I've just learned so much. I've been so blessed to have amazing parents and role models, other role models um, in my life from a young age. So I think those types of things where it's just like so, and it's much more evident to me now because everything when you start to this is my first other than being at school and sort of living away in the summer a little bit. This is sort of the first extended period of time away from home, especially being overseas. Um, so that I've definitely come to appreciate sort of the stability, all the good habits, um, just lifestyle sort of choices that I was brought up in that that I now it's one of the things where now I have to try. Like now I'm like, okay, I haven't eaten it sounds stupid, but I haven't eaten vegetables for 4 days. I should probably go find some healthy
Hey,
food,
dude.
Yeah. So it's like simple stuff like that, like just like health habits, but also like how to treat people, how to be a competitor, all that good stuff is like so
Your
important. And my
dad pretty
family,
much ingrained those veggies in you, huh? Your dad is it,
yeah,
or your mom? I don't know who did that, but you guys, I don't know.
yeah,
I'm the same. Like, I
both
mean,
of them for sure. I think they, God,
oh yeah, yeah. No, I was just saying, like, I value. I mean, you, like Nolan, Jay, like, your mom, your uncle, like, not your uncle, my uncle, like your dad, my family. It's like,
yeah,
I'd say like, it's like obviously it's not a knock on you for, going out there and going, to wherever Deerfield was, um, going up to Williams, going to abroad, like, obviously, with technology, you can call them whenever you want. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you have availability. For myself, it's like,
right,
I realized the other day, it's like, the things that matter to me is like family, friends, my city, and then like, the United States, and then also, kind of like God, you know what I'm saying? I've been, much more,
yeah,
I've become much more religious, and just like kind of like, a lot of times with religion comes like like a lot of people who have really tight families tend to be religious. Um,
right,
but it's like
yeah,
you don't have to be religious. It's like clearly, you don't have to even recognize God at all and still be, like extraordinarily successful. I mean, I don't know how I was, because you're 1 year younger, you're 22, right?
21,
Oh, you're
About to
21.
turn 22 in a week, actually, or
You're
2 week
turning
or
22 in a
10
week?
days.
Oh, wow.
March 2nd.
Uh,
What is
no, so
that?
basically you're
10
22 years
days?
old. So you're like a year younger,
20?
pretty much. It's like I'm just now like really getting into religion. Like I actually, yesterday, I don't know if I told you this, but yesterday I actually got in contact with some missionaries of the faith that a lot of individuals know as Mormon, but it's actually called the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. That's like the technical term. Like that's what they call their church. I was in a Mormon, like I was in like their church, like a church that the missionaries like, they brought me to, but like they met me at like their church
Yeah.
in, like 15 minutes from where I live. I met them first
Yeah.
out in Idaho. I played basketball. These guys are repping like an Oxford, like it's what my mom called like a button-down shirt, like slacks and boat shoes, dude. And sorry, your thing just got. And dude, this one dude was dunking.
No, you're good. I might turn off just while I'm not talking. I might turn off my video, see if that helps. Yeah, you're talking about. Are you talking about? Sorry, I probably just missed a lot. You're talking about the Mormon Church,
Yeah, yeah. The,
and then
the
you were
church is
there, and then what
titled like
happened
I
with
don't
the
have a
dunking?
problem with you calling it the Mormon Church, but it's titled the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
What is?
That's what the church is called. It's kind of a mouthful, but
Yeah,
I'm sure you can call them Mormons because the book that they worship is called the Book of Mormon. That's why people call them Mormon because
right,
it's just
right.
easier
Yeah,
than the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But they welcomed me into their church, talked to me about
yeah,
basically a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah.
And it's just crazy because it's like you'll meet people like out there, and then you'll make connections. Like they might know people in the States and like South Carolina, Massachusetts, wherever you are, and you guys can link. Like I met these guys in Idaho. Like I said, I don't know if you heard me talk about, but I was playing basketball like in the town of Coeur d'Alene, and these dudes with like Oxfords, like button downs and slacks come up, and uh, can you hear me? Okay, so I don't know if it's still recording, but I think Ben's in I actually don't know where he is, but he's somewhere in Europe. So I think he's experiencing some technical difficulties. We'll work with it, challenges build character, challenges, they're fun once in a while, but it's another wisdom. But anyway, Ben's thing just cut out. So basically I'll just continue on with this story. So basically, um hopefully he hops back on here to finish it up. But I met these guys in Idaho. This is the third time I'm saying it, but I met these missionaries in Idaho. They were dressed in like, in a very nice clothes, boat shoes, and this one dude was like dunking, Elder Shearhorn. I would love to get him on this as well. He's going to BYU. We did like, a year or two of mission trips. And, just awesome dude. Him and his buddies welcomed me and my friends into their church in Idaho. They told us all about their religion, even allowed us to play basketball within their church. It's just crazy because a lot of us were dealing with mental health. And, back in the day, allegedly, some religions would actually persecute you for having, mental health issues. But now, they were welcoming us into their church. Apparently, more the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, if there's ever a world crisis, a natural disaster, Mormons are, sorry, the missionaries or whoever, say Mormons, like they're going there. Um, they are, Ben just texted me saying, yeah, I don't know what's going on. The internet's crashing. But anyway, Mormons are going there to help. They're very, very nice people. Um, and they actually gave me, like this book, the Book of Mormon, yesterday. And, I'm meeting with them again on Saturday, so I'm going to read it and see what's up. Just a super interesting, another adventure. It's like, so I'm saying, like, if you are somewhere traveling, reach out to people, get their contact information. If you're even a tourist somewhere, try to get some contact information from people that live there. You just never know what happened, like what opportunities could unfold in the future. Um, but yeah, I mean, I was basically telling Ben, it's like, I think for our age group, we don't really pray too much because it's like, what does prayer even do? But it's like prayer teaches mindfulness. Mindfulness is taught in, things like Buddhism and other religions. Prayer is so amazing. Um, oh, Ben, can you hear me? I think Ben's trying to connect back onto the internet, so we'll give it some time. I think it's frozen right now. I don't know what's going on, but I think it's just an internet thing.
Okay.
Is that working?
Yeah. Yeah. It also could be mine because mine keeps saying unstable.
Yeah,
Um,
it's okay. I mean,
but
we got
yeah,
like
I
we
don't.
probably got
You
like
could probably cut.
what's up?
I was just saying. Hopefully, you can whatever cut the video if that works. But I was getting interested in what you were saying. You were saying, can you just
Yeah,
like give me
we got like
the
5 minutes for this
the
video.
short version of
Can you hear me?
what do you mean? 5 minutes left or yeah,
Yeah, no,
or
we got
five
like
minutes.
I gotta go somewhere, so I got like 5 minutes left, but
All right, yeah.
we can definitely I
All
would
right.
really want to do another one. I try to, everyone I have like on
Yeah, yeah.
basically say like, let's do another one because there's, we could talk for 2 hours, me and you. We could talk for 3 hours probably. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I was basically
Yeah,
just telling them like I was
definitely.
just
Yeah, no, I'm
basically just talking about kind of like religion and for me like I was thinking before I hopped like we hopped on the Zoom kind of like
yeah,
something that I really want someone to take away from this. And for me, it's like, it might seem like, kind of out there, but it's prayer. Like, for me, it's like every single night from now on, for the rest of my life, every single night, I, I would want to pray. Like, I would really want to pray, to
yeah.
myself, to my family, to just, the well-being of
Right.
just generally everybody. It's like ultimately, I don't think, it even maybe it doesn't make a huge difference. But even last night, like I prayed and it's like I felt so much better after I prayed.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
like prayer is mindfulness. Mindfulness is taught in like Buddhism. It's like a lot of these
100%.
religions are connected. Um,
Yeah.
and it's like maybe in our next video we could even dive into talking more about religions because I know you've definitely done some thought about religions
Yeah. Yeah.
through your school and stuff. So I guess like real quick here, because I do have to go soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just can you please tell us, it's like, what, like how Williams has impacted you, like what benefit you've gotten from Williams and or negatives.
Yeah. Um, I'd say Williams in a lot of ways. This is a big topic for sure. Um, Williams, I think primarily the first thing that I think of automatically um is just relationships with people. My best friends, a lot of my best friends have come out of Williams. So I think and just like getting to know good people, sort of like-minded people is good, and also non like people from all over the place. Williams is a very it's non like not a lot of people from. I mean, there's more people from Massachusetts that go to Williams, but there's people from all over that go to Williams. It's fairly diverse. So sort of getting that experience has been big for me, especially since I went to the same sort of small school my whole life. Sort of getting out of that bubble was big for me. And then I think like beyond the basic like just improving reading, writing, comprehension, stuff like that, like critical thinking, I think has been a big part of my Williams experience. Um, in the sense that it does force you to think, it does force you to think and process and like use the information that you're getting in more real world scenarios. Like they really push for the less sort of by the book um, curriculum and more of the like, what are you going to do with this in the real world type thing. So I think
Yeah,
that's been
because
huge.
I will butt in here. It's because Hamilton is liberal arts, and so is Williams. Liberal arts typically
Yeah,
means kind of like more open-minded. I know at
yeah,
Hamilton, like even like the credit system was unique to most colleges. It's just at
right.
Hamilton they call it like quirky, like
Yeah,
I think all those colleges kind of quirky, like you made super interesting, uh, like foreign, like just like people that you might, it's just unique, like just you really unique people, which I think is
yeah,
really
yeah,
cool. I've
yeah,
been to Williams, like I visited there, I've been on the
yeah.
campus, um, but obviously I don't go to school there. So what's the mascot? Isn't the mascot like some, what is it? Elf? What
It's
is it?
the East. It's a
Yeah,
purple cow.
yeah, the purple.
Ephraim
Yeah,
Williams
that's what
was
I'm
the
saying. It's like
founder of Williams.
that's just encouraging for me because it's like yes, Williams does do stuff. Like it's not like they're super out there, but they do stuff that's like you know you have to do to
Yeah,
run a
certainly.
business because any college is a business. You know what I'm saying at the core, like yes, colleges are
Yeah,
like aimed at probably allowing individuals the opportunity to learn, but they're also a business. So that obviously they do some stuff that kind of like cutthroat, but
yeah,
I'm sure you feel like you can be whatever. Like you can be, you can express yourself in a lot of ways, especially at Williams. Secluded, separated from a lot of society. Just
yeah,
an amazing, really amazing place. It's just like you will graduate, and it's like just having that degree from Williams, big, big. So
yeah,
you're setting yourself up for, you're also playing soccer and talk abroad. Like it's like you could talk about those things when you go into a job interview. Not only Williams, not
right.
only soccer, but also going abroad. Like those are just three. You're just. I
Yeah,
mean, I try not to compare, but truly and honestly, it's like you're doing amazing, bro. Uh,
yeah.
I
Thank
don't I
you.
don't know.
I appreciate.
We didn't really talk too much about any struggles, any obstacles you've overcome. We can do that in the next video.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I have a dentist appointment. So, I mean, basically,
Sure.
this is what I say to people. I'll say a couple things to close this video off. If there's anyone else like you, anything you can think of, like that, anyone like you around, your age, like, just anyone like you, what would you tell them? Like, what would you recommend them to do?
Um, I would say I don't know. I'd say the thing that I would say the most. It's going to sound super cliche, but is sort of just believe in yourself to get where you want to go and sort of become who you want to become, because I think it's hard at some points, and I appreciate you mentioning all the sort of successes that I've had, but sometimes it definitely doesn't feel like that,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of day-to-day sort of struggle and hardship that, I mean, not it's not too bad, but it's like stuff that in your own little world, you know what I mean, it can feel tough at times. So I think sort of believing in that bigger picture and believing in who you want to be. It sounds, again, super cliche, but I've been trying to do it more often. And then you sort of turn that belief into small actions, like just planning stuff out. It's been one of those things that I have my mom has always told me, you got to plan, make a list, plan out the stuff that you want to do. And I'm like, no, I don't want to plan. I just want to do whatever I want to do whenever. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like that's not really the way that it works sometimes. Sometimes you got to just say,
Well,
okay, I'm going to do this today, and that's what I'm going to do to get better. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It could be go for a walk or whatever it is, but try to do something to make yourself who you want to be or
that's
explore.
That's awesome wisdom. That's interesting you say that because I've been kind of like in this, this run recently of really trying to be kind of like a rebel and put myself out there. But at the same
Yeah.
time, it's kind of confusing myself because it's like I want to be that, but I also want to be productive and like, if I own a business, I want to do
Right.
it the
Yeah.
right way. So it's like it's just kind of like
100%.
interesting because a lot of people would just uh I think you're cutting out a little bit. A lot of people just group like, oh, you're a rebel, that means you're bad. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I think you can be a rebel and be an
Yeah. Yeah.
extraordinarily, beneficial person to society. Um, but we can talk about that stuff next
100%.
time. I do have
100%.
to go. Ben, I
Yeah.
really appreciate you
Yeah.
hopping on here. We can talk more about,
Yeah.
we
Thank
only
you.
covered, I think, two questions and we kind of just were freelance talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, every video,
Episode 2.
be kind. I don't know if it's backwards, but this shirt says be kind. Every single purpose project, I'm trying to wear this sweatshirt. Pretty simple wisdom at the end of the day. Be kind to, treat everyone the same, be kind. recommendation, not a command. But yeah, no, Ben and I hopefully will get back on here. Also, I'd like to shout out Zoom for allowing us to do this. This is awesome. Zoom,
Yeah, there you go.
appreciate you. I don't know what I would do without, to be honest. Maybe there's other things, but Zoom is what we're rolling with right now. So yeah, Ben, I mean, you're my cousin, bro. I love you. And we'll try to get back on here. In the meantime, have a great time in abroad, have a good time for me. Maybe meet some ladies. But yeah, we'll try to get back on Zoom maybe in a month or two. Check back in after Ben turns 22 and has some more experiences out east. So yeah, Ben, is there any final words you want to say to the Purpose Project fam? I don't know if you heard. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got you.
Oh,
I got it in a little bit. I definitely got you. I just want to thank you sort of
yeah,
for having me on here and getting this thing rolling because it is important that this kind of stuff sort of gets out in the world. So thank you. I love you too, for sure. Definitely hope to see you soon. Hopefully we'll get back on here soon. So,
sir. Alrighty, guys. With that being
all
said,
right.
peace out. I'm gonna get my teeth cleaned. We'll see you guys soon. I'm gonna
Yes,
try to
sir.
post every Wednesday. I don't know what time, but every Wednesday I'm gonna try to drop a purpose project. So Ben, also, if you know anybody that wants to jump on here, and if anyone watching this wants to jump on here, leave a comment. I have Instagram, phone number, a lot of ways to get in contact. So that being said, Ben, thanks again. Peace out.
Certainly.
Everybody out there, have a great day. Ash Wednesday. Peace out.